Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Past the Six. I'm your host, JB. Join me as always is Tsunamic Wave. And Tokyo Swift is back, man. Before I even say what's up to y'all, Tokyo Swift, appreciate you holding down the fort last week with Wave
Word.
It's
out
good.
coaching.
No doubt, man.
I definitely appreciate you holding me down. Unfortunately, I come back without good news. We made it to the championship, but we did not win. We lost kind of bad too. I don't want to put the score out there, but they worked hard. They had a good time. We had a good time, but it happens.
And I mean, like it is what it is. Like it's still saying like you didn't get the W, but hey, it's good experience like for the next time. So now y'all know what it's like to be in a championship game, and y'all more prepared for it already.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
Absolutely. Well, if you're new to this show, welcome. We split the show into four parts. You start out what games we're currently playing. Then from there, we'll get on to this week in gaming, talk about some classic games that dropped throughout this week in history. Not all classic, some are just retro, I guess. Uh, then from there, we'll touch upon some industry news. Today, we will be talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and the trailer that dropped today. And then we'll get into the spin wheel, which got one gotta go game versus questions about Call of Duty, retro games, classic games, the whole nine. So let's kick this one off as we always do with what games are currently playing. This week, I'm gonna start with myself. Hellblade 2 is first and foremost been the biggest, the most I've played. Thoroughly enjoying it. Obviously, I've been talking about Hellblade 1 on this show for a while, anticipating this game. I'm not mad at it, man. I saw the reviews on how the game is too short. I saw the reviews on how it's too story based. You know what I mean? There's not enough like I guess, lack of a better term, microtransactions and stuff. There's nothing you could buy and stuff. It's just the game itself, which I have no problem with. Even if it wasn't on Game Pass, like I said, Wave, I was gonna buy it regardless. And to me, it's worth the money. But because it is on Game Pass, everybody should go out and at least try it. If you don't like it, it's cool. That's the beauty of Game Pass. So that's literally the only game I played since in between shows. So I'm gonna toss it over to Tokyo Swift.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I beat another Crash Treasure last night. I finally finished that. Like it's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. Like I stand by my initial rating of a solid 8. It was pretty good. Like it's like they definitely set out to be a Souls like game, like and they succeeded in that. I feel like there's just some criticisms that the game is not hard enough and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, but like Souls like games really like they aren't that hard. Like it's just like you need patience and time, like and understand the battle system. Once you understand that, it's not going to be hard, you know. So it's like I mean, why don't you try to go in there and button mash and see how easy it is then, you know? But yeah, but like it's a good game. It got a little preachy at the end, you know, trying to like convey its overall message, and kind of forgot that it was a video game like that needed like a ending. But on overall, I still recommend it to people. Then I went back and started this like on the easy mode, like so I can have the gun and shooting crabs with the gun is pretty funny. So
Is that more
yeah,
fun or
it's more fun. I mean, obviously, it's more fun because
yeah?
literally, because the gun is basically a one hit kill. So like
Okay,
on everything, like bosses included. So like yeah, so and it's infinite ammo. Like so, it's like you just walk around, just pop. Like
gotcha.
so, like it says it's basically the America DLC. You know, so
Yeah,
it's yeah. I mean, just been playing that and like MLB the show like I started a new like player road to show like because I wanted to try the woman like basically like to see how that is. That's new this year, and they did implement some new storylines and stuff like that. So that's cool because you don't even come up by yourself. You come up with a best friend
okay.
through the minor leagues. So yeah, so like and you guys are chatting like then eventually you guys become rivals. So like so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I have not had a chance to play that. I was actually curious what that was about. Like I said, I was just so wrapped up in my seats. Like I haven't played it since the last show, so I'm still in the same spot. But I was
Mhm.
curious what that mode was, so that's definitely cool to see. Wait, what have you been playing?
I ain't going front, man. I've been trying to get the Borealis skin in Warzone. So I've been kind of grinding zombies, and I'm gonna be honest, that joint is mad boring. It's kind of it's just boring, man. I don't know, that game, that mode has so much potential with the way they did it. At this point, I mean, the beginning was fun, but at this point, it's kind of boring, especially chasing skins. I'm doing the same thing repeatedly with every gun, but I do have a goal, so I'm just pushing through when I have time. I also played a little bit of ranked on Warzone. I mean, on Call of Duty, and as well as Apex too. So,
Okay.
uh, a lot of zombies, a little bit of competitive. That's kind of how my week been.
I mean, I feel like I'm working for Ninja Theory here, but have y'all had a chance to play Hellblade 2 yet?
Nah, I haven't had a chance to play because, like I said, I was busy with the show, and I just finished another Crash Treasure last night. Like,
Okay.
so I'm like, but I have downloaded it though.
Okay.
So like, so I'm probably going to give that a chance, like probably like a little bit after today, like after the show or something like that. Because
Got you.
Because now that I played that and it was a good game. Now I'm looking for more like games
Right.
to play. So.
Yeah, me personally, I watched the like the beginning part of it, like the intro,
Yep.
but I didn't get a chance to like
actually
have any gameplay. Something came up, I had to just shoot out the door, and when I came back, I was like, "Yo, let me just get these skins on zombies." So,
right. I feel you.
Priorities.
Right.
My only advice to y'all and whoever else might be checking it out for the first time is if you got headphones, wear them. I know a lot of people we play now with headphones on. If you got headphones, use them. It's a lot of intricate stuff that's in the background, right? That you can hear. So that's like my only advice. So if you're new to the franchise at all, either turn the volume up on your stereo or whatever, or headphones. That's the telltale advice.
Right, it's like 3 different species of rabbits you could hear back in the back.
But all right, yo. With that said, let's get on to this week in gaming. We briefly look back on games throughout this week in history. First, let's kick this one off with actually backtrack comments. My fault, y'all. They just popped up on mine. Literally, they all got the same timestamp of 9:14 for some reason. Jessica said, "Hi,
yo,
what's going on?" John said, "What's good, Kings? What's good? What's good, bro?" John, here we go. Jay, should I play the first Hellblade or can I just play Hellblade 2? So you can play Hellblade 2. I think they do a good job in the beginning of kind of like showing you where we are. I'm not done with the story yet, so I can't see how it all plays out. There's definitely going to be some callbacks to the first one that you may not get, but that doesn't impede the story, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's what's up.
Andrew said, have you had a chance to play? Seems to be the curse of gamers now.
Yeah.
That's a good point. John said, I've been playing Apex and Forspoken. Okay. Multiverses dropped today. Got to run some fights before work. I haven't had a chance to play Multiverses since it officially dropped. And I saw they had the employer patch already, which is we talked about that last week, right?
Yeah. Day one patches.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, yo, let's jump into this week in gaming. The first game we talk about is Sid Meier's Colonization, May 31st, 1995, Microprose. Tokyo Swift, if I remember correctly, you're a big fan of Sid Meier's Civ 6, right?
Yes, sir.
We're going to rely on you more on this one. All right, yo. This game dropped in 1995. I have heard of this game personally. I've never ever played it. I didn't play PC games until fairly recently. I'm going to toss it over to y'all. I'm sure y'all have heard of it. Have you ever played it, though? I'll start with Wave.
Oh, well, I've never heard of this.
You never heard of it? Okay.
Let's put that out there. No, the first time I even heard of a civilization game, or a Sid Meier's game, I should say, is Civ 6. So I never, and I'm gonna be honest, the way it looked when I was doing my research probably wouldn't grab my attention either. Like, but PC games really wasn't, my speed, more because I couldn't afford it. Other than anything else. But now looking back, I probably wouldn't enjoyed. I ain't gonna say most of them, but particular games like this anyway. So I'm not sure I really missed out on an era, and I'm sure people that play PC, that's a part of our audience, would correct me if I'm wrong on some games that I probably should play that was classics back in the day. But everything I've seen from back in the days on PC, doesn't really move the needle for me per se. But yeah, I don't want to continue downpour some more. Got it.
Got you. Tokyo Swift, your thoughts?
Yep. To be honest, like, yeah, I haven't played this game. Like, I know I talk about Civ a lot and stuff like that, but honestly, like, in terms of the franchise, I'm a Johnny come lately, man. Like, it's
Okay.
Civ 6 actually was the first game I actually started playing. Like, I mean, I've heard of the series, but I didn't really have a PC to play it on. And then because Civ 6 is also the first, I believe, the first like, one of the first games to be on console. So that's what really got me into it. I believe there was another one like on Xbox 360, but
Okay.
but like because that was Civ 6, it first came out on the Switch, and then it got ported to Xbox PS4. So like and I've been playing it like ever since. But I mean, like Civilization, like in the colonization games, like there's basically it walks a fine line between like you being having to be a history buff and you having to be a fan of like sci-fi or alternate reality, because it's basically alternate history, because like where the game starts that everybody starts off at the same place. Like, so even obviously like say like the US, like they were founded in 1776, but in the game every civilization starts off at the exact same time, exact same year. So it's basically like, oh well, what if like the US was around at the same time as Cleopatra and the ancient Egyptians and stuff like that. So I mean, it's cool. Like, it's a cool thought exercise for that process, and see how you can like build up empire and stuff like that, and how because everybody has like their special units and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, so it's like, I don't know if you guys remember this show, like it was on that Spike TV channel, like called The Deadliest Warriors.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
which by the way, they did have a video game out for it, so tie into that. But yeah, it was basically like, oh well, let's take the Spartans of Greece and put them up against the ninjas of Japan, or the samurai, or let's put them up against the Persian immortals, like stuff like that. So I mean, so it's cool for that
Got you.
It's not like so much action. It's not like action packed. Like, you're not going to be on the edge of your seat, stuff like that. But I mean, but it's like, if you're into stuff like that, then you'll love these type of games. So like,
cool. Yeah. Let's get to the comments, because I feel like the way people feel about Civ 6, like games like that, is the way I feel about like games like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Like, I can't stuff like that. I can't sit there and explain to you like, oh, you should play this because XYZ. You either find it fun or you don't, right? Like,
yeah.
So let's see. Andrew
Some
said,
of them was cool to Tycoons.
Yeah. Andrew said, Multiverse is getting Jason Voorhees. I didn't even know that. Okay.
I seen some gameplay with Jason Voorhees. He like, it's kind of almost similar to Superman without the flying. Like, he grab you by your neck and throw you, all kind of crazy stuff.
He said he's OP. Of course he is. Like,
he's a
of course, man.
Of course.
Andrew said, yo, Sid Meier's doesn't have a single bad game in his opinion. I mean, like I said, the people who play him, they ride for him. So.
I can co-sign that. I can co-sign that. Like, it's like, because like the especially like the Reddit community, like for the Civilization subreddit, like avid fans, like it's hard to find like, oh I don't like this game, or I don't like that game. It's real hard to find an opinion like that.
Absolutely. Christian said, "Yo, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well."
Yo, hope you're doing good, brother.
Andrew says Civ 5 is a great start for anyone wanting to jump in. Civ 6 is just fantastic, except the damn workers have limited turns.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Mo is not.
It's like it's definitely a mechanic that I'm glad that they that they rework, because like even though I didn't start with Civ 5, I started with Civ 6, but I have played Civ 5, like, so I am familiar with it. Yeah, like it didn't make sense to me. But then again, I mean, I started with Civ 6, so it was always like that. So
Right.
going back to Civ 5 is like, yo, what do you mean I'm on a time limit for these builders? Like, it don't make no sense. So
Gamer Live, like, what's good, bro? He said Wave must be sick. He showed up to work. What a crazy world we live in.
See, if you was here on time, you would have knew why I wasn't here. Now I ain't go. I'm not giving you the pleasure of repeating myself. You know.
He's like, he clapped back. Like,
Yeah. Nah,
Like,
B.
run it. You got to run a stream back for that.
Right.
Nah, yeah.
Andrew said colonization made me miss a week of school. Sick.
Facts. Like you know the saying, one more turn. One more turn.
Right. All right, yo, let's jump into the next game. Yo, the next game we talk about is Shining Force 3, May 31st, 1998 on the Sega Saturn. So I'll kick this one off, man. Before we even get into Shining Force, I want to shout out the Sega Saturn having low-key one of the best intros to a console ever. I think it's very underrated. I know everybody talk about the GameCube, the Xbox, the PS2, that whole era, but the Sega Saturn had a great intro. That's just an aside. Shining Force 3, personally, I'm not a big fan of the Shining Force series. I'm not gonna say it's trash. It's just, once again, like back-to-back games, something I haven't really gotten into, was not that interested into. This franchise also has a great fan base, especially the first two on the Genesis. But in terms of this particular one, again, I didn't have too much time with the Saturn, so I can't really speak to it. Are y'all big fans of the ones of this franchise, or what's the deal? I'm gonna start with Tokyo Swift.
No, not at all.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that as like, oh, like I don't think this game is good or nothing like that. It's like it's just not something that I was a fan of, because like especially in 1998 when stuff like this came around, man, I think I'm on record saying like around this time, it's basically like the golden age of like video games, man. I'm like especially 98, I got stuff like Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie, GoldenEye, Smash Bros, like Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, like stuff like that. I'm like, yo, I don't have time to play it's like to try this stuff out. So it's like but I mean, it looked good, like especially for the time. Sega Saturn definitely was underrated in terms of like graphics. Like Sega Saturn still looks better than a lot of PS1 games, like and on the low, some even like early PS2 games. Yeah. So it's like I mean, like, but it's just like Sega was just like this was definitely like starting to be like the decline for them, where it's like, because like Sega Saturn didn't really hit as hard as it did in the US as it did in Japan, right? But I mean, it's for good reason. Like there's not like, because they didn't really have that definitive game, and they said, okay, I need a Sega Saturn because I need to play this game. Like in Shining Force, like I am familiar with the franchise. I know they have a couple games out on like the Genesis. Yep. But I mean, like it's one of those franchises that unfortunately like failed to make the leap from the 16-bit to like in the 32-bit generation to next level. So
yep. Wade, what's your thoughts?
Shit, Swift said kind of everything I was really thinking.
My fault.
First, nah, it's cool. I didn't own a Saturn either, so I didn't get to play games like this. I didn't even know about the Shining Force franchise, and like Swift so eloquently said, it's because a lot more fire was just out, bro. Right. Like nobody wasn't thinking. Like you had to come out with really something amazing to take attention from other games. And while this game, like you said, Jay may have a following, it didn't hit for me. It didn't take my attention away from nothing.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest points that Swift touched upon was this game came out deathly late in the Saturn life cycle in the United States. In Japan, this is like still in the prime, right? Like even though the Dreamcast would drop later that same year, it was still like cooking. Like the Saturn in Japan is like beloved, whereas here it's like a joke and a mock of what not to do, like when putting out a console. So that's why like this game does have a cult fan base. It's just like Swift was like at the time, it's like 64 is rocking, the PS2 or they putting out mainstays that still are putting out games till this day. It's just not a lot of time for the Saturn in general, and then of course this.
I think it was marketing though, as far as the Saturn go. I mean, they did have like their little mascot at the time. It was what I don't know what that thing was. What was the mascot for Saturn? What was that thing? Like? Do we know what that was?
It was something weird, man. It was it was something
Sonic
weird.
is missing. Sonic is missing from the Saturn.
Yeah, because I think Sonic only had like maybe like a handful of games, and wasn't even any main series games. It's like more like Sonic pinball and shit like that. Like, it's like,
and that's why they had the that's why the Dreamcast they came out the gate with Sonic Adventure 1.
Like you have to launch.
Ain't it crazy how things change? Now we complaining about I can't say that word. You know, them putting out a whole bunch of different games. We talking about the Saturn die because they ain't have Sonic enough.
Right.
Right.
Like that.
Just crazy. Looks very good for 98. Yeah, the Saturn had some graphical like power that just unfortunately didn't get used here. Christian said for something that was released in 98, it does look solid. Gamer Live looks at Saturn price point killed itself from the gate, and by 98 they already pivoted to the Dreamcast. $400 in 95.
That's like that's wild.
And it shadow dropped because what happened was it was supposed to drop a week before the PlayStation. They moved the date till May, and they dropped it infamously. KB Toys refused to stock the system because it was like, bro, we're not going to be able to sell it. So it was just like Best Buy, like Toys R Us was able to sell it, but there was only 3 games ready. Like the whole concept of it was just bad. Like it's just Sega dropped the ball, man.
Yeah, it was.
That's why some.
It's what killed Sega. Like
I was just gonna say they call it the curse of the Saturn. Like that's what killed Sega, like the curse of the Saturn, and being greedy because the Saturn the 32X dropped months apart in Japan, like 1 month apart. So, but all right, let's jump to the next game. The next game we talking about, fellas, is Test Drive, which obviously Test Drive is a game that dropped in the early 90s on the Sega Genesis, and they kind of rebooted it in 2002. I want to get your thoughts on this game specifically because I'm not the biggest fan of Test Drive, but I do like acknowledge that in terms of like some racers, it did make a nice jump to that next gen. It looks way more realistic than some of the games that we saw around that time, like Sega Rally Sports on the Xbox. Again, though, it's just at this time the racing game market was saturated from Sega Rally, you had Gran Turismo. I think maybe a year later we see Forza for the first time. There's a lot of games that was just out. Obviously, Need for Speed. So what's your thoughts on Test Drive, the reboot? I guess.
I could go. Like, I mean, like it's like it was okay, but like you said, it's like it's basically it's basically like bringing sand to the beach, you know. Like it's like there was so many racers out like in like around this time, and it was like it's just another one. Didn't have anything to really make it stand out.
Yep.
So it's like, so you really need to like focus on like graphics and detail and stuff like that, and making sure things like, because even just looking at this video right now, you can tell like every time they crash into a car, like it's basically look like like Mario Kart, like, you know, like cars are popping up in the air and you just keep on driving, and it's like, I mean, it's like you got if you want to be car tuning like that's fine, that's completely fine. Like there's a market for that, and it works. Like ask Mario Kart how being car tuning helps, but you can't do both. You know, you can't do both. You can't be like, oh, we want to be serious and we like make it look good, like the cars look good and stuff like that, and then have stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So it's I mean, like, and plus especially having dudes name Skeeter like on there, like that is pretty weird, man. That's pretty weird.
Wait, what's your thoughts?
And the other dude got a last name, Dennis Black. Everybody else
Right.
just a first name. Is he a secret agent?
Right.
I ain't going front. Like I agree. Yo, Mo is just on fire today. Because that's where I was going with it. The saturated market.
Yeah.
But like just to add on a little bit, I think they name suck too. I'm gonna be real.
Test Drive.
Test Drive is a sucky name, especially when you got other games out with a lot better names. And I ain't coming with an idea, so this ain't one of those things. But
Yeah.
I'm just adding to the fact of how they could have helped made themselves stand out, because it was very obvious. Like that's the issue. It's like a
Right.
really plain game, and it's other games that people gonna gravitate to because they've been putting out solid games for a couple years at this point. So
That's fair.
it's kind of sucked. They might have remastered at the wrong time. They should have waited to right now, because this is
That's
the
more than
time
fair.
to do it.
Yeah.
That's more fair. Christian said Test Drive is fun, but didn't stand out. So we all kind of on the same point that, like, at the time, even Wave, like you said, with the name, like you got Need for Speed, Gran Turismo, you got Forza Motorsport, all types
Midnight
of
Club
racing.
was out too. Midnight Club was
Yeah.
Midnight Club
out?
came
Yeah.
out a few. Yeah, so Midnight Club,
Yeah.
Cruising the World, Cruising USA, and then Test Drive. Right, like Test Drive,
Like,
like
Test Drive. Like, am I crashing
That's
into
a
a
good point.
wall? That's it.
Yes.
right,
Yeah. Like you a test dummy. Like
right. All right, yo, let's jump to the next game. The next game we got is a game. It's actually the first game we're talking about this week that I actually absolutely liked and loved, and that's Medal of Honor Frontline. Now, I've talked about Medal of Honor series on this show a lot. This is for me where it started. Sorry, Tokyo Swift, we're gonna storm Normandy one more time.
one more time.
Nah, man. Like, one thing I like about Medal of Honor, especially at the time, was it just seemed a lot more realistic. It made that next gen leap. So instead of it looking like bad, like you could see some of the blood and stuff and the explosions and stuff. The simulation of war, I felt, was at the time was like groundbreaking. Obviously, now looking back on it, even though I do think it holds up some like decently, until you start getting up on the faces of the characters. But in terms of simulating actual war, I think this is where it all started. I'm gonna pass it over to Wade. What's your thoughts on Medal of Honor Frontline?
I'm speaking purely from the outside, because I haven't played any Frontline games.
Yep.
And I always I want to make it very clear again, because you never know who's watching, that I'm a guy that picked sides when I was a kid. Like, now that I'm older, I would play multiple games in a genre.
Yep.
But back in 2002, I was not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I think I was playing SOCOM around this time, so I wasn't.
SOCOM 1.
Yeah, I wasn't playing no Frontline. It looked dope. I mean, for the time, I haven't stormed Normandy Beach as many times as Mo have,
right?
So I wouldn't have an issue, playing this game. And like you said, it do hold up, and it give you that war feeling. You know what I'm saying, when you watching the gameplay. And sometimes that is hard to capture, especially back in these days with the way the graphics is.
Yeah. Tokyo Swift, what's your thoughts on Medal of Honor Frontline?
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid game. I mean, because it's one of the reasons why these shooters keep going back to the same well. It's like the stories are already written for you. Right. So it's like all you need to do is just like basically just put pen to paper, like, and then and just animate it out. So it's so I do see, even though I'm tired of it, like I do see why they keep going back to this well. And right. Plus it's one of the very few wars that has ever been fought that is the clear, okay, this side is real bad, this side is bad. So it's basically a good guy versus bad guy kind of thing. So I mean, like the Medal, they're good, like you said, Jay, like they're good for the time. It looks good when you're looking at it from a distance. When you get up close, it starts to fall apart a little bit. But But it's like it was still an overall good game, a good war shooter. It's basically like this game walks so Call of Duty can run, you know.
Absolutely, that's a good
And
point.
yeah, I mean, like I said, like that's the reason. Like this one of these games are one of the reasons why they kept going back to the World War II too well, because it's like look, we wanted to capture that, and we want to make sure that hey, we want to remind that stuff like that. So I get it, like it's a time and place for it. Like yeah, like it's like it was a cool game, like for its time, you know.
The one thing I will give them credit for that I like about the series was they were the very first to touch World War II from multiple standpoints. You had this one, obviously the basic World War II story we all know. Rising Sun, which we talked about a few weeks ago, took care of the Pacific part of the war, right? And then European Assault touched upon from like when Germany first invaded, you had to play as the Europeans and not just the Americans who come and save the day, right? That's what I liked about how Medal of Honor did it, where it's like Call of Duty. I don't think they touched upon the Pacific side until Vanguard, which is all the way in like 2019. Unless I'm wrong.
No, like they did have the Pacific side, like the Pacific theater, and what game was it? I think it was called Call of Duty 3. Like it wasn't in depth, but like they had they had campaigns in Africa too.
Oh right. You're right about that. Okay. But yeah, so like because I think Rising Sun was 2003, like the very next year. So they did touch upon it from multiple things. First, that's one thing I did like about it. I did forget about Call of Duty 3. I think Call of Duty 2 went back to World War I if I'm
Call of Duty 2 was World War II again.
Oh, okay. So then I see why you are done with it, Normandy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Like the first three Call of Duties were all World War II.
All the same war, right? Okay.
Yeah, it was like fam.
A long war, man.
Christian says this game brings back so many memories before multiplayer and all of that happening. This brought a war story to life and was fun and challenging. That's a good point. Like being able to play through the campaign. They did have a multiplayer. It was basically like four player split screen. But yeah, before that, where now most people don't even play the campaign. Like this is all we had. This was the game, right? Like
yeah.
Gamer Live looks it looks like what PUBG looks like now. Damn.
Yo, that's crazy. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Matt Irizarry was good, bro. He said, "Big bro moving to Japan is some baller shit. I can't lie."
Yeah,
Tokyo Swift,
big baller. We got the triple Bs, the real triple Bs.
Right.
Big baller brand.
All right, yo. So next thing we talking about, that's it for this week in gaming. Next week we'll have some more games to talk about. We are now about to jump into Call of Duty. Black Ops 6 is officially announced. A worldwide reveal will be at Summer Games Fest on June 9th. We will cover it. But there is a trailer out, and none of us have seen it yet, so we're going to get into that trailer now. Then we'll talk about some of the rumors, which I think can cause controversy. If you remember a few weeks back, we did say it's supposed to be the darkest Call of Duty ever. We might have some insight as to why. But first, let's jump into the trailer.
Let's go. You get my show.
We're recording. Truth is, your whole life is a lie.
You wanted peace, so we hit the war, and now it rages on in the shadows.
Behind closed doors, where we hide the world's secrets.
While we build your trust, the world falls apart around you. If you weren't so distracted, you'd realize
Nothing is what it seems. But if it's truth you seek, look in the dark.
Hey, yo, hold up. Be look in the dark and there's a black dude just pop up out
Hold on. It's going to jump into the next trailer by Call of Duty as well. So.
This Call of Duty or Blair Witch?
It's Call of Duty.
Yeah, right? Somebody stand in the corner. I'm out of here.
Why is they doing this? Like, what's the purpose of being out in the dark, hiking in the mountains? It's got to be about zombies or something.
Oh. Oh, okay.
So just what's your initial thoughts off of that trailer, and then we'll get into some of the rumors and stuff.
It looked like they're trying to set up some type of Illuminati type joint, man. Like because they got the like all the world leaders like during that time, like over the Allied side. Cause I know I definitely clocked them. FDR,
yep,
Winston Churchill,
Eleanor.
Yeah, like Eleanor. Yeah, for some reason I'm not sure why she's there, but yeah, like Stalin and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, like what's happening? I'm like, it feel like it's like on some real shit. I feel like because actually with the Black Ops series, it's kind of weird. Anyway, it's starting to seem like they about to have you commit some war crimes.
Yeah,
like that's what it seemed like. It made me feel kind of dirty. Plus I don't like the fact that like all those people were leaders for World War II. We going back to World War II, fam. We got to storm Normandy Beach again, but in secret this time. Like it's like oh man, like it's like I don't know, fam. I don't know.
So the one thing that I got,
World War II,
the one thing I got from this, it seems like this might be the first time of Call of Duty that we might be jumping around to certain things. It might have an overall theme, right? About how, especially in that where we saw the Mount Rushmore with the truth lies on covering the eyes and stuff, being blinded. A lot of stuff that I do think this is one of the best trailers they put out, just because you don't quite know what's going on now, right? It's not just catch us in the Pacific Islands battling Japanese. Catch us in Normandy Beach. It does seem like a dark tone to it, right? One thing, one of the rumors that I'll get into for a second is that this is supposed to be the darkest Call of Duty of all time, and we'll see why. And there was some talk about them not having a fight with the ratings
to
even get this game out. I know, right? I know, right? But before we even get into that, Wade, what's your thoughts on like the trailer that you just watched?
Shit, I mean, I don't really know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. I'm not used to like COD doing stuff like this.
Right.
I mean, they normally like try to be cryptic, but they give you something. This is more like you gotta kind of pull the layers apart yourself.
Sure.
And I think one of those hikers was Price. I want to put that out there as well.
Yep.
If you know who Price is, then you're a real one. But yeah, I ain't going front. I'm a little the two trailers together got me a little excited for what's to come. I don't really want to make too many assumptions.
Yep.
I kind of got the same vibes as Mo got with the Illuminati. But like I don't really want to say like how are we gonna go about it. Like are we
sure?
Like it's just so many ways they could do it. So I'm really curious to see. I want to see more before I like talk about my feelings.
So before we get into the chat, I want to get the rumors that I've been reading out there. Some of the big publications have like revealed this, so it's not like back of the internet type rumors. One of them is that it's supposed to have some tie-ins to September 11th, which is obviously going to be obviously controversial because America, especially here, we still kind of skirt with that topic, right? For a while, certain references were being pulled from movies and stuff that preempted 9/11. There was stuff being can't show no more because of that. I know for a while, even something like Home Alone, they cut the scene where he went to the Twin Towers. So I'm very curious on how they're going to skirt around that. There also was a rumor about a mission in the game where a leader has to be hung, obviously possibly referring to Saddam Hussein and how he was captured and apprehended. So again, these are just rumors. Although like places like GameSpot and stuff are having opinion pieces on it. I want to get your thoughts on that before we get to the chat. And chat definitely chime in as well on your thoughts about 9/11 and possibly the capture of Saddam Hussein, which obviously wasn't looked at as well as people thought it would be. And possibly, if that's the case, we could even see a mission with Bin Laden and how he was taken out as well. So, what's your thoughts on that? I'll start with Wave on that one.
I guess I got a question. Like, is there a time limit to when you could revisit something? Like, cause they showing pretty much all the wars on these games. There's people, family members that died in these things. Like, this is not.
Right.
These are not stuff that they just made up in their head. Like, they may have added some, people, you made up characters, but like these wars are actually real. You know what I'm saying? So like, at what point can you go and use something that really happened in history? Like, when is the amount of years that is okay? Is it ever okay? Because if that's the case, then we all kind of effed up because we've been just playing these games, like not really necessarily caring about how that affect the families of those wars. So if we're gonna make a fuss about them using these things, then that's kind of what we gotta do. We gotta kind of talk about all the games.
Yeah.
Even the Ghost of Tsushima, like even that far back, that's people actually lived through stuff like that.
Right.
In those eras. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, why it wouldn't too much bother me none if they added 9/11 and stuff like that, because I wasn't directly impacted. Like I lived in the city when it happened.
Right.
But I wasn't directly impacted. Like none of my family members was there. My uncle did help with the recovery and the cleanups and all of that, but he wasn't there when it happened. He went later on to help out. So I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it.
What's your thoughts, Tokyo Swift?
I'm gonna piggyback off what Wave said, man. It's like especially when it comes to like high, basically like in internet talks, like how soon is too soon, so, and it's because like we keep making the jokes like keep storming Normandy Beach, and it's like, but I'm like, we've seen that like what, like 10-15 times now. But I mean, but those are real people on Normandy Beach that was storming that beach, stuff like that. So it's like, I mean, it is kind of iffy. But then you just think about it, like, oh well, that was a long time ago, blah blah. This 9/11 wasn't that long ago. I mean, like but it is still long ago, because like you think about it, because it's 2024 right now. There are full-grown adults who can go to the bar, have a drink, that weren't born when 9/11 happened. Right. So it's like now we're getting to the, like, it's still in our heads because we were there, we lived through it, we were old enough to process what was happening. So it's like, so that's our Pearl Harbor, like people's grandparents will remember, December 7th, like it's a day that's going to live in infamy.
Right.
It doesn't live in infamy for us. We wasn't born. Our parents weren't even born back then. So I mean, so it's like, it's basically just about perspective and how you how like Wave said, not only does it affect you, but how long it's been, stuff like that. Like, so if you live through something, that makes it even crazier. It's like, it's like, so I mean, like, I get it. Like, it is provocative, but it's not the first time Call of Duty has done something provocative. Like, because the airport scene from Modern Warfare 2 comes like screaming into mind. That was wild. Like that was insane. So it was like so I mean, it's it's like it, like art, and call it, because video games are an art. Art is provocative sometimes. It makes you think about things and things like that nature. So as long as so it has the discussion, because like I said, a lot of kids don't they didn't live I don't want to say kids, because like I said, they're full grown adults now. Like 9/11 happened 23 years ago.
Right.
Like so yeah, like there are people like out there who have no, like, well, I mean, they probably have a clue because they've heard about it, like if they grew up in the US, but it's very US centric for us to think that, oh well, like, you know, like everybody in the world cares about this. Like most people don't, you know. So like it's it's definitely wild. Like I would like to see how they handle it, and it's going to be very, very touchy. But if there's anybody that could handle this and and has who's big enough to try, it is Call of Duty. Like I don't feel like a small indie studio making their first game couldn't really do something like this. Like they'd be buried. They'd be buried. You know. So it's like, so I mean, they still got to walk carefully, but like if anybody can cover this topic, it's going to be Call of Duty.
And before we even get to the chat, the thing I like the most about it is like just the imagery. We're seeing powerful figures, right? Clinton, we're seeing FDR, we're seeing Eleanor, we're seeing Saddam Hussein, but to notice that the lighting and stuff all has them in the same hue. Usually when we see American leaders, it's always bright, right? Bright and strong and visual, and then we'll kind of like gray it out for, you know, the enemy per se. So I'm very curious to see what angle they are going to take with this, because like the whole truth lies. It's like, well, what is the truth? Are the United States on the right side always, like, you know, United States citizens are taught? It could be very ballsy, like even for, and I know it's Activision, I know now it's Microsoft, right? So we're talking about a powerhouse, but
like I said, with the World War II, like it's easy to go back to that well, because that was basically the last war where it was a clear cut good guy and bad guy, you know. So like all the other wars in between now, and it's like depending on who you ask, right? It's not like that math is not mathing.
All right, let's get to the chat. I know we got a lot of chats to get to. Matt said, I'll be in Japan real soon, maybe later this year.
Hit me up, fam. Hit me up. Let's go, man. Like we can go look at these retro video games.
Absolutely. Gamer Live looks at that trailer is dope with Saddam, George H. Bush, and other figures from the 80s and 90s, Desert Storm. So again, which obviously that plays right into the rumor of September 11th being evolved. You know what I mean? So, you know, Black Ops is not afraid to touch more modern and even futuristic topics. So, again, very interesting what I'm going to say. Matt said, this is a war against the Illuminati. So, same sentiments. Same sentiments. Jess said, visually, it looks great. I'm not a COD person, though, so not really an authority to speak on it. If this is just a trailer, I assume on June 9th, we'll get some gameplay trailer or whatever. This is just more to kind of set the scene, which is what I like. All right. Christian said, New World Order game? We're kind of all on the same thing. Like, it's like that whole truth lies, the visual with the Mount Rushmore with the eyes blinded. I think that's telling. I don't think they'll do that just for nothing. I could be wrong though. Yeah. Inspired over on Twitch was good. He said similar to Division in some ways. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, with the way that they kind of trashed that monument, I guess.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I can see it in the black plastic bags and shit. That bag looked.
Okay, go ahead.
Now that bag that they just showed, that symbol, that's like Divisionish.
Yeah. Gamer Live looks at Eleanor is there because towards the end of Woodrow's presidency, she ran the office while he was sick. Okay.
Oh, FDR. That makes sense. Like, because damn sure wasn't him.
Right. The fireside chats. Christian Castro said, going to be some type of time travel shooter, right?
Something different from COD. That'd be
that'd be cool. Hey, go back in time and prevent this.
One of the things that I think that they might be doing, and again, not to make a joke, but in Battlefield 1, they did it. They took World War I, but they did it from a way where like it wasn't just, you know, they had you play different periods of World War I. And they told it from a story standpoint instead of just like go be the hero and save the day. So I'm wondering if that's how they're going to do it. They're like, cause there's going to have to be some type of time jump, just to get from Desert Storm to September 11th, right?
Yeah.
But if they do it well, then I'm down for it.
They're going to do it like Assassin's Creed, but you got a pistol and an AK.
Right. Levante Armwood was good. He said, "Don't know how true
Yep.
it is, but read the Twin Towers will be in the game." I did. That's one of the rumors that there will be an animation like scene CGI, of course, of what happened. It might even be direct footage. We don't know,
I
but
don't know if they have
again,
the balls for that.
it's ballsy. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
definitely
I don't know if
ballsy.
they have the balls for that.
It's
They
definitely
don't have the
ballsy,
balls for
but
that.
I would give respect if they did it. I'm not gonna lie. As a gamer and how like we've always talked about them pushing the envelope, it's be a ballsy move, but they
They'll
got the
be
backing
throwing that
now.
motherfucker. They wouldn't be pushing
Yeah.
it.
Hey
They'll
man,
be
at the end
throwing
of
that
Yeah. We slam that shit down like this. Like, yo,
at the end of the day, man, they backed by Microsoft now, right? And like,
yeah.
so,
I don't think and I think that's the reason why it ain't gonna be nothing crazy like that, because now Microsoft's like, look, especially like as literally the only American company making and selling consoles right
Yep.
and now, yeah, I don't think it's nah. I would say maybe in video form,
Yep.
like I don't think they even dare to animate that. Like it's
Right.
I mean, like it'd be crazy if they did, but I don't I can't see them taking that risk.
What if they just play the actual footage?
Yeah, I think it'll probably be that like a rapper other than just animated stuff, like especially could you imagine like having to do a mission in there like and just seeing people like fall out the window? Nah,
That would be
I don't
crazy.
think
But I was thinking
that,
out of my head too, Mo. Like, would they actually make
that
you do a
that would
mission
blow.
running through buildings, falling?
Nah, I don't
That'd
that,
be
and all of
everywhere.
that?
I
That'd be
don't
everywhere.
think so. Like that would completely blow away that airport scene, like in turn
Yeah.
shock
You know,
value. Like,
craziness.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be absolutely.
That'd be
insane.
wild. That also would have caused some people, like parents, not buy the game for their youngins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
Cause an
that'd be
uproar,
crazy.
man.
But
Yeah.
to be fair, like Tokyo Swift said, man, there's a lot of people who didn't like how we were seeing folks get blown up on a ship in Pearl Harbor, like in the early Call of Duty games, especially like, or even some of them, like they're. It's not like they haven't showed Americans dying, right? In these games,
Right.
it's just being that.
It's military personnel.
True.
Like not civilians. Yeah, so it's
This would be civilians because
this would be wild. So yeah, I don't know about that.
Matt said Alex Jones is about to love this Call of Duty. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Alex Jones pay that money back yet?
Right. Christian said, I need a Call of Duty game based off the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one, man. Like again, like when they did Cold War,
that's a Black Ops kind of game.
Absolutely.
But then it's funny because Americans lose that, so
right.
so they're not going to do that. So
Gamer Live looks at, and I'm excited as this will be the first official entry under the Microsoft ownership. Another thing that we'll touch upon is if this is coming to Game Pass day one. If you're a Game Pass subscriber, which if you have an Xbox, in my opinion, you should be. There is no additional purchase this time around. It's coming to Game Pass day one.
Me and Swift talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we talking about that now?
So let me get through more of the chats because there is something else with this game that I do want to talk to that I think is wild. Bradford Gray, yo, what's good? Pastor Six, what's good?
Yo, Brad, what's good, my boy?
Gamer Live, like 1993, probably when the World Trade was first bombed, as it was during Desert Storm. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I can see them putting it in that scene way more than
towers falling.
Than 9/11. Yeah.
Christian said that's a good point. Bradford again said now we had historical thoughts and context. Damn, expectations high. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean like that's the price you pay when you want to make a historical game. You know,
right?
Like people's gonna people live through it. People have opinions on it.
They might also have Muammar Gaddafi in this as well. I mean, we're talking about some powerful world leaders, man. Like very historical. Like this game could be, if they do it right, it could be one of those games where there's documentaries on YouTube like made about it. You know what I mean? Made about, because like you are exposing this. There are a lot of kids who play Call of Duty, and so you'll be exposing some of these leaders because some of this stuff, if they're going to take the direction this trailer seems like, a lot of stuff won't be. It ain't in the textbooks. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're exposing a whole generation of kids to some dark stuff, and I know it's technically not for them, but come on now, like, we know Call of Duty is mostly purchased by kids. That's why sales jump every single Christmas. Levante said, I learned Saddam Hussein was captured on South Park. And what up, Mo? Long time no see. Hope all is good. Been working on my Japanese. I gotta get out there.
Shit, we all gotta get out there. Shit.
Right. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna do a show from live from Japan.
Let's do it, man.
Game Alive looks said, this is what we've been waiting for. Something new, something fresh, and even something real.
Hey, let's not go that far, man. Let's wait till the game come out. Like, Call of Duty don't deserve this amount of motherfucking belief or faith I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell no, we can't do this yet.
That's fair.
They gotta show us gameplay or something.
Bradford say Wave ain't old enough to remember 9/11.
I am old. Wait, what the fuck? Are you being serious? Or are you trying to be funny? Like, I don't even know how to take this text. You feel me?
Yo, Brother Girls says no Russian. Gamer Live looks said life imitates art and vice versa. Good point, man.
Yeah,
good point. Matt Arizona said Epstein about to be in this game. Chill.
I mean, it is soon. I mean, it is a Black Ops game.
Yeah. Bradford Gray again said George Carlin argued that fascism won World War II in spite of a Nazi defeat.
Yeah, like I can see what he means by that. Yeah. Like, if you don't know, like George Carlin, like a famous comedian. I can see what he means by that. I mean, because like the fact that fascism still spread, like especially like just even in the U.S. like afterwards, it's like because like that's because a lot of people don't either know or like this fact, but the U.S. never had a problem with Nazis. They never had a problem. Like they never had a problem with it. Like they got into the war because Japan like brought them into to the war. They were never going to go back into World War II.
Interesting. Gamer Live looks at I'm a history buff, so this is my
Norman. Facts.
So I agree. I'm heavy into history too. I think that's why this intrigues me. If they can tell it from a different perspective, and a lot will argue a more realistic perspective. Again, is ballsy just because of the way Americans push media, but very interesting.
Too.
Also said it's a new war, so regardless, it's something new and something fresh.
It might not be a war though.
Yeah.
John A. Rosari was good. He said, hopefully David Goggins is an unlockable.
That would be fire.
I mean, technically he was in the military around Desert Storm, right? So, like, I mean, it's possible, but then again, I'm sure you have to have a licensing deal with the game. I don't know if they'll go that far. But another rumor I want to talk about, fellas, is that Black Ops 6 was in development for 4 years and play tested for 2 years now. So obviously we've seen 4 different releases for Call of Duty during this time. If that is true, that is a reason why they might have was supposed to take the year off, right? But money, they ended up dropping Modern Warfare 3, which didn't go so well. But what's your thoughts on that? Just the fact that this might have been in development for four years and play tested for 2 years now.
Good.
Yeah,
like that's good. I mean, like it's like because games, especially games like nowadays, like the way they look at with these budgets and stuff like that, take your time, man. Like it's there's not like I don't think anybody cares that much. Like, oh hey, I like this game, but I need a new game like just like it next year. You know what I mean? Like it's like the only games that I can see okay, I see why they do a drop every year. Is maybe sports games because obviously like new people, new players coming in and out of the league and stuff like that, and or like okay, I get that, but I'm like I don't need Call of Duty every single year. It's just like honestly, I wish more developers would take like the approach to saying like for the developers like say the Legend of Zelda takes.
Yep.
Legend of Zelda has been as a franchise been running for about like 40 years. They got like maybe like 10 or 15 main series games.
Right.
Like like Legend of Zelda ain't dropping like every year. They're going to drop one game and then cool like the next year because like people were saying like it was a fast turnaround between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like the Breath of the Wild dropped in 2017.
Yep.
And again, Tears of the Kingdom dropped last year, 2023. So that's 6 years in between. And that's considered a fast turnaround for Legend of Zelda. So I mean, yeah, I mean, like take your time. Like,
what's your thoughts on this?
I feel more hope now.
Yeah, I was really trying to think of when the last Black Ops came out. Like, you feel me? Like, you know, I don't remember. It had to be like 3 years ago, so I could see this being real. And like me and you, Jay, have been saying for a while, they kind of need to take a break, you know. So Black Ops kind of did that. I don't know if they was helping with the other CODs, but Black Ops kind of did take the break. So I'm kind of excited to see what they come out with. We've been saying for a long time they should take time off the whole franchise, though, not just part of it. But I mean, let's see what they do with it. I ain't gonna put my hopes up too high. I am a little excited though.
Yeah, man. Like, I think it's a good thing personally because I basically to piggyback on what y'all both said. I think Call of Duty at this point is going to make crazy amount of money, so we know we're going to see some type of a big release. But this is one like Gamer Live looks said to kind of set the standard on Microsoft. Now that they got that backing, right? They can definitely, if they do something new and fresh, they could rock this out for two or 3 years. There's no law says you can't just import missions. Like we've seen Grand Theft Auto, even though we make jokes about it, do a great job with DLC. Like I think we all can agree we're past the point that we need a new Call of Duty every single year. And just people are going crazy looking for clues and stuff in these trailer alone because it's new and fresh, right? Like people have found on the key art that it said 9/11/2001. Like people are digging into this. You know what I mean? Like we see the White House and stuff in the background, the Capitol, and another picture. I think that alone shows that put more time and effort. They could have easily put out a game on World War II or World War I. They could have easily done it. You know what I mean? But the fact that they are trying to make it, something fresh, I think matters. So again, 4 years, playtester for 2. Hopefully we get a game that's not buggy day one like Vanguard was. And hopefully it's not just same old as the rest of them have been. Let's get back over to the chat. Gamer Live looks at it. It's the Gulf War. Okay.
So maybe Tiger Woods should be in that motherfucker.
golf. John Arizari, I do wonder if this will cover conflict or conspiracies in the U.S., especially during an election cycle.
Yeah, because like it is during election cycle, like right now. So I mean,
so be less time to do the conspiracy side of it,
right?
Yeah.
Gamer Live said Lockerbie might be in the game, and that was so messed up. Gaddafi caused that. Like there's a lot of shit that they could put in this game if they want to take it there. Besides just 9/11, right? 9/11 would affect America, but there's a lot of like deadly shit that they could incorporate in this game if they are going for quote unquote the darkest Call of Duty ever. And hopefully they didn't just say that because it looks like the main protagonist is black. Like hopefully that's not the reason why I just said that. Because you saw what's going on with Assassin's Creed right now. So hopefully that's not the case. Byron Hurd was good, bro. He said all Black Ops are a hit to me. That's all I play, to be honest. Play infected mode on Cold War every other day. Are y'all fans of Black Ops? I know Black Ops 2 was the heavy hitter, but have y'all
Black
played
Ops 2
the
was
series?
fire. Yeah, Black Ops 2 was fire. Like I fell off on Black Ops 3 though.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Black Ops missed at all. It's the other side that be missing.
Okay. Christian Castro, last Black Ops was 2020, I believe. Yeah, that was Cold War, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. All right. So that's all we got for the Call of Duty stuff right now. Let's jump into the last thing we're going to talk about, and it's going to be quick, and then we'll get to the spin wheel. Appreciate y'all rocking with us.
Yes,
the oldest video game rivalry is over. No, we're not talking about Sega, Nintendo, PlayStation, Nintendo. We're talking about Atari and Intellevision. And Atari purchased Intellevision, ending their 40-year rivalry. Intellevision has put out tons of slander, even though it's true, that Atari caused the video game crash and how they set gaming back. We know they're both OGs in the video game realm. Two things of why I wanted to specifically talk about this, and then I'll pass it over to y'all, is Atari is hell-bent on protecting the retro game market, which is why I have a lot of respect for them. Some would say of self-serving, of course, because they are retro gaming at this point. But so much so, the Amiga, which is Intellivision's console, that didn't do too well, right? They're not even doing anything with that. They're gonna let that die off and focus on the retro gaming.
Yeah.
But and Atari's still a little petty on it. Basically, they was like, yeah, the Amiga that dropped, there will be no support for that. It's just gonna fade off, but we're helping on protecting the retro games. I want to get your thoughts on that, man. They're talking about reviving classic games, so I don't know if we're gonna see remasters of stuff or stuff, kind of brought into modern, because like I don't know what Pong, stuff like that. There's a lot of games Atari put out. Obviously, the 2600 was heavily successful. But what's your thoughts on this? Like, kind of seeing the two OGs merge up.
It was yeah, I go like it's pretty cool. I mean, like it's well, actually that's a lie. Like it's not pretty cool because it's I mean, like it's just one less company in the game. Is one less competitor in the game. Right. There's one less point of view in the game, so it's I get it, like that's like the nature of the business. Like they want to outcompete each other, and like that's how like Sega. We were talking about Sega, like they got basically the split up, a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I mean it's like it is a sad time, but again, it is what it is. I mean, like you said, and television isn't really doing anything. So I mean, like it's not like, oh no, like our lives are going to be erupted over it. But at the same time, it's like I said, like it's just this one less competitor, one less point of view, one less storyteller in the game.
Yep. Wait, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't really have too much to say about it. I don't really know what Atari is doing nowadays, so I don't really know what this merger is gonna kind of mean for them going forward. I guess it's good in the fact that at least Intellivision could at least have somebody support what they got going on, whatever that might be.
Right.
It might need the financial backing, so I guess it's good on that point. Like I said, I don't really know what Atari is doing. Hopefully they got some stuff coming out that's big for the retro gaming space. I know they got retro games all over the market, though. They all over the Switch. They all over the PlayStation. They all over the Xbox. It's not like, we don't have places to play these retro games. So I'm just trying to figure out what they aim going to be. What I mean?
So after doing the research on one thing I did find was they've been talking a lot about how Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, Microsoft to a lesser degree because they're still newer in the games compared to the others, how they have allowed for a library gap to be in like their gaming library, how there's certain games they don't acknowledge no more. We talked about it last week, Tokyo Swift, where how they'll let certain games just fade off if they didn't think it did too well. Well, Atari is calling them out like the library should be supported. I'm not saying every game has to be ported to new, but you shouldn't just be yanking games from people or like, giving them access and taking it away. So, like, for example, they called out Nintendo was like, if you're going to have the Switch Online expansion pass, allow for it to have all of the retro games, and if you can't fit it, then cycle them out like Game Pass does, right? Where they have a certain amount of games they can include, they cycle them out. They do the same with Steam, they do the same with PlayStation Plus. It's like cycle the games out, but don't just leave games behind. So that's kind of their goal when it comes to retro games. Obviously, they will need help from Nintendo to get everybody on board, like PlayStation as well. But what's your thoughts on them kind of spearheading? Like, we need to protect the retro game market.
Yeah, like it's like what I said last week around like I do have a number now. Like it's like I noticed this that there's a larger amount of games like that don't exist anymore. Like I'm looking at it right now, only 13% of games made before 2010 are available to buy.
Right.
Like
That's
right
crazy.
now. So 80, yeah. So basically 87% of any video games before 2010 like are in extreme danger of just not existing anymore, just being a memory in someone's mind. Like, and I feel like especially nowadays with like the internet and cloud storage and like and things like that nature, I feel like it should be the opposite. This should be like, look, like we have the technology now to have these games available. Like you said, like Atari's been porting things like all over Switch, over PlayStation, the Xbox, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Like and like the Switch does a good job of using like their retro libraries and bringing it to like their newer consoles. Like I don't understand like just like letting these things just fade off into existence. Like it's like, I mean, I get it. It's older games, like they probably thinking, oh, who wants to play, like Tetris or Pac-Man when you could play the new Call of Duty or something like that. And like, yeah, sure, there is stuff like that. But I mean, but these games are the classic games. These games are what built this industry,
right?
Like, and you can't forget your history because yeah, I mean. Those games stood the test of time because they're amazing games. Like a Pac-Man, people still play Pac-Man games in like arcades here, in Japan. People like the fighting games. The fighting games, like most of the fighting games, like big ones like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, they're all still 2D side by side action. Right, just like it was like in the 80s, in the 90s. So so I mean, like it's
Streets of Rage 4.
Exactly, Streets of Rage 4 was like an homage to like the 90s. Like Streets of Rage 4 was like it transported me back to the 90s. So I mean,
and we all played it too.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like there's games like this that you gotta they have to do better and like trying to keep these like around, because it's like it's not just for like the collectors like yourself, Jay, but I mean, but it's better to tell like the story of game, especially like with kids these days. Like, okay, look, like they're just coming into games like in the long run of franchises. They might play like say Tears of the Kingdom as the first like Legend of Zelda game they ever played, stuff like that. I'm like, look, they don't have to go back and play stuff like a Link to the Past or Link's Awakening or like or back then, but just know that they have like as there and the options. Okay, look how far this game has come. Like, absolutely, I feel like that's very important. Like,
and one of the things Atari said they're going to do, Wave, I'll get your thoughts on this, and then we'll get to the spin wheel. Is they're basically saying like Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, Sega, if you don't want to do anything with these retro games, and I know Sega, they put out a trailer during the Game Awards that showed that they might be. They're like, license those games to us, and we'll put them out. They just don't want to get killed on the licensing fees, because the three giants, they don't give up their games for nothing. So, and I understand it's a business, but they're like, let us put it out, because like Atari, when they put out their classic 2600, it did very well. PlayStation put out their classic, it didn't do so well. Nintendo kind of went the expansion pack side, and Microsoft hasn't done anything. Again, they're still new. And Sega, they put out some, but it didn't do as well as Atari did. So Atari is like, let us license it for a good cost. Nothing like, I'm not saying for free, and let us be able to work with that retro market so no game kind of gets left behind. You know what I mean? go off the No Child Left Behind thing. I don't see anything wrong with that. I support them on that. Do I think it's going to happen? No, because the three giants, like, they got the control, right? And if they want to let certain games die, like Zombies Ate My Neighbor's Way, before that came back on the PS4 and the Xbox One, we couldn't find it. Like, I had the cartridge, but if I didn't have the cartridge, I wasn't playing it.
Right.
And you should be able to find it. Yeah.
It's whack. Like it's like I said, like I keep bringing up this point every time this conversation comes up. Like I have a game Avatar: The Legend of Korra game. Like, and it's a great game. Like it's probably the best a game, like video game in the Avatar last Airbender series. It's probably the best game, but because of licensing issues like that, they pull the games from the market. You can't buy it right now. So I mean, but it's such a great game. Like and it's cool. Like so, and I would love for people like to play. I want people, because like apparently I'm the only one that played it. I have met anybody else that has actually played this game. I would love to talk to somebody about it. Like it's such a great game. I replayed it a couple weeks ago. And with my daughter, because she just finished watching the Avatar series for the first time, and it's like, it's an Earthbender. Oh, she's an Airbender too. It's just the Avatar. Like it's the way you cycle through. Like it's so fun. So like stuff like that, because I mean, nostalgia is on 99 these days. So it's like, I mean, having to be in the option to go back and play those old games, like it's not that old. I was from I think it's like 2013 or 14. But I'm like, but having the option to go back and play those games, you know, like it's a game. I feel like it's something that every gamer should be able to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Seems the chat is saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to say I ain't even get a chance to put my thoughts out there. Before we go to the chat. So like I think is a few things though. Like I think is microtransactions and the subscription base things like Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. And what I mean is, like, obviously capitalism is the thing in the USA. And that's really what most of these game companies is about, really, when you really think about it. Because Game Pass could expand and be 200 for the same 200 games, 300 games.
They could,
for the same price, but they only give you access to 100, and then they cycle it out. So you know, games fall through the cracks that never get their chance to be a part of that 100, or even a PlayStation Plus 100. You know what I'm saying? And also got with the wars, that's a big part of it too, because if all of them came together and created one solid database for games, they could charge, I don't know, $80 a month. Who knows? Whatever price they come up with out of their head. And we would subscribe to play all of those classic games.
Have access to it, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right, exactly. And that'll be something that they could all eat from. But obviously, and it could be subscription based. I'm sure we would all play that without a problem. And they're not gonna do that. So those games that we talking about, the 87%, that we want to start calling it that, they just fall by the wayside because they don't really have a place to go. Some of their companies got shut down, bought up. You know what I'm saying? All of their developers went somewhere else. They probably retired. You know, it's a whole bunch to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at the end of the day, like the three at the top, they could change it. They could make it all go, you know, to a different direction, or they could give it to Atari and let them work it and figure it out.
Yeah, man.
I think it's a good idea. Johnny Rosé said it's good for Atari. It's kind of like how private hunting in the savannah is how they provide and fund the conservation of wildlife in Africa. That's a good analogy, basically. Like allow them to do, like, for example, and I want to touch upon this point. They asked Paul Levesque, for those who don't know, that's Triple H from WWE. He was asked flat out, why could there never be a remaster or a report of No Mercy? And he was like, nobody's ever come to us and asked about the licensing. We have the rights to a lot of those wrestlers in the games under legend contracts, even if they passed on and stuff like that. He was like, We've never told anybody no who wanted to work with us. So basically, all these years we kept saying, right, licensing and stuff. He's like, that's not the case. Nobody's ever tried, right? Because Nintendo don't want to have to be caught paying that licensing fee, but that's not the case. So it's like maybe Atari would be willing to at least try. And if the answer is no, then the answer is no. But
well, that's what he say. Who knows what the truth is?
I mean, it's Triple H.
I mean,
He's a natural heel.
It is Triple H.
Right. Game Alive Look said it's a rivalry that no one paid attention to after the 80s, so it doesn't matter to be honest. That's a good point.
Facts. Facts. Like it's basically like that meme where the dude is celebrate Braden after getting the medal, and then he realized like he like sixth place. Yeah.
So, they should have had that joint in the card. Just down.
He also said, and that's why emulation is so heavy now because of these companies allowing their catalogs to fall to the wayside.
Exactly. Somebody got to do it.
Right. John Rosé said, no lie about emulations being utilized to take the place in a market that Atari couldn't make money on. That is one thing that they'll have to battle. But I think if there's something official, there's a lot of people who may not know how to work with the emulation scene that will bring them in. I have a feeling it will work. I'm confident it will work.
Yeah.
Gamer Live looks see Microsoft, even though they are newer to the space, they do it right by making everything they make backwards compatible.
Yeah, like once upon a time it wasn't though. Like because remember when the Xbox One came out and it wasn't backwards compatible at first. It was like, fam, what is you doing? Like,
right.
I remember that.
And then I remember that. And then they had to like basically patch it in the game. Like we had to patch it in to make it backwards compatible, which was trash because that means you could have made it backwards compatible from the start and you chose not to. Yeah, so it's like, oh, who knew people wanted to still play the games they own? You know,
right. Right. All right, yo, let's get to the spin one, man. Appreciate y'all. I know this has been a longer episode, but it's a lot of good content. That's what happens when video games actually put out some good news, some good content. You know what I mean? Allows for a discourse. But for now, let's get to the spin wheel. Remember, if you are new, put your answers down in the chat to the questions. Are y'all ready?
Let's go.
Get it.
Let's get to it. Does nostalgia culture downplay current gaming? These are random questions, even though that fits this whole combo that we just had.
Yeah. Does nostalgia culture downplay current gaming? No, I don't think it does. It's a time and place, like it says. Time and place is for everything. Like Streets Rage 4, like we just talked about. Streets Rage 4 is like heavy nostalgia stuff like that. But that don't mean that games like Another Crash Treasure that just came out ain't fire too. Right. You know what I mean? Like you can have both. Like there's a dichotomy.
Yeah, I never ever came past an older gamer. Yeah.
Yo, it's not Rick, yo.
It almost feel like it. I ain't gonna lie.
Illuminati shit. Like,
nah, it's not Rick, man.
Illuminati like pulling the strings.
Yeah. Now, what I was saying, I never met a older gamer like, obviously the people in the panel.
Right.
That ever talked down on games that didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? Like if games are good, the OGs normally give praises. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not basketball. The Hall of Famers ain't hating on the youngest, or football for that matter, or baseball. Any of those things. Like, older gamers, we enjoying the evolution, just like the younger, crowd is. So I don't think this is true at all.
Exactly.
So I agree with you. I think the answer is no, but I see why people think so. Because like, if you look at social media, right, you see a video game, it's a lot of the comments are negative, right? It's always like, oh, gaming and how it used to be. You got the dude who stopped playing games years ago will be like, oh, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 got nothing on GoldenEye, even though they're not even remotely close to the same game, right? Or the Mario Kart 8 can't be better than 64 because that's what they grew up on. So I get where people come
Yeah,
to that.
but
But
when
like
they
wait,
say
like,
that, they
for the
talking about the
gamers,
experience, though.
right?
Jay.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree. I'm just saying I see why people feel that way, but to the gamers who still participate in it, I completely agree. I think if anything, it enhances it. John Arizari said it depends on the individual speak with and the maturity they have on the subject.
Yeah.
I think the
Right.
maturity is the big part, because I feel like there are people who hate on, like, 90s basketball has to be the best thing ever because that's what they grew up on, right?
Yeah. That's it.
So like
honestly,
yeah,
it's the worst. It's the worst.
right. The
worst.
Like,
Can't stand that stuff like that.
Like, I heard somebody say today that Ron Harper would hold Kyrie Irving to 6 points, and it's just like, yo, you're just saying that because you grew up a Bulls fan. You're not like you stuff like that
in the first 2 minutes.
Right.
Stuff like stuff like that is like it's insane. Like it's like because to bring it back to video games, like the Pokemon community is like that as well. Like if you let them tell it, the last great generation was Generation 3. Or and everything, and for people who don't know, we're on Generation 10 right now.
Right. I was about to ask that.
So it's like
generation is this?
So yeah, so I'm like, yo, like they're like, oh well, this is the best game. Everything else is garbage after that. I'm like, nah, man. Like it's just changed. Like it's just different now. Like that doesn't
change
mean
for the better though.
It does change for the better. For most part, there are some things about Pokemon that change for the worse. But I mean, like as long as it changes for the better, change is good, man. It keeps everything fresh.
Right.
Gamer Live said, nostalgia gaming actually enhances the gaming space because it builds bridges to bond on.
Facts,
that's a great answer.
Man,
yeah,
facts.
That's a great answer. All right, let's jump to the next one. Not rigged, by the way.
Funny. What do you think about the 87% of games that are not available?
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh man, yo, what is the maximum amount of money you would pay for a console?
5.
Damn, 500.
Yeah.
5. Yeah,
Facts.
that's because anything over 500, like you're going into PC territory. So it's like if that's the case, if I got like $600, $700, $800 to burn, like in a new console coming out, I'm just going to buy a game laptop, and a game laptop ain't even going to be that good, like at like $600, $700, but it's going to be better than your standard console though.
Right. Wave, what you got?
Yeah, I agree. $500 is for me. Like, or you could just, like he said, get you a gaming PC or a cheaper PC. You know
yeah.
So PS6, Xbox, whatever, drop at 600. It's a no-go right off the rip.
Nope. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait.
Absolutely not. Yeah, like it's
wait.
Absolutely not.
I probably would say 6, only because before the new consoles drop, I would have said 4, right? So like, if the new consoles drop that 5, I ended up getting in a 5. They probably are gonna go up. I can't see them just saying, "Hey, we're gonna put it at the same price." I know rumored Nintendo might, but I mean, I hope so. Don't get me wrong, but 500 is a lot, to be honest, because we just talked about, and which is why it's crazy how the Saturn costs 4 in 1995. Yeah, in 1995,
like $1,000.
Like
that shit is crazy.
There is a point where it becomes too much. Like, because at the end of the day, it's just video games. I know you could stream off it, right? I know you could stream off it. Hell, with the Xbox One, you could connect your cable box to it. But there comes a time where it's like, all right, bro, like Tokyo Swift said, it's not a laptop, right? You know what I mean? It's not a gaming laptop. It's definitely not a full PC. So it's like you're starting to get into that territory, and you can't customize it unless you technically break the terms of service. So
you got jailbreak it.
It's a lot. Yeah. Let's get to the chat. Gamer Live Look said 500 is sufficient enough, and if I already have 3,000 spent on the PC, that might still be too much.
That's a big ass jump for 500.
I mean, the PC market, but again, like you have say over what goes into it, right? And it's customized.
Exactly.
and you can replace parts. Your Xbox breaks unless you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And
Right.
again, you're still
Even if you
breaking
do
that
know
terms
what
of
you're doing,
service. Yeah.
even if you do know what you're doing, go
Right.
buy that warranty.
Game Alive said they won't go over 600 because you will price yourself out, especially with a PC being a better option. The reason why I say they might is because if y'all remember, the PS3 actually launched at 600. Nobody bought it at first, and then they had to drop it back down. And that was what, 2006. So I could see them at least trying, especially with a powerhouse PS6 or a powerhouse whatever. We're still got to see what they do with the PS5 Pro, because if the PS5 costs 500, 450,
The Pro is a slimmer version though. It can't
Pro,
be more.
what they'll probably do, because the same thing what they did with PS4. Like they'll just lower the price of PS4 and then put the PS4 Pro at that same price. So so it's like, okay, look, hey, we'll lower this console because it's older now. You want the new and approved one, you got to pay top
and
price.
It be the same shit. It's just skinny. Yo, PlayStation really think
because them graphics
are stupid.
Because them graphics it's not a big jump in graphics at all, like in power between the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. Because I still got a PS4 Pro. Like it's like I try to play Ghost of Tsushima. I join sound like it's about to fly in orbit, man. It's like
y'all didn't like the turbo lawnmower jet they put on the back of it for sounding like
fam,
like
the rocket so loud, man. That joint is so loud. I'm about to have a red eye flight to London on that. That's crazy, man.
John Avery says depends on the culture around the console. He also added maybe 600 max now since CDs are gone, and I should be able to install a SD.
I mean, they could do like Xbox and charge you $250 for that shit.
The extra memory, which is overpriced within itself.
Which is funny because it's still Xbox still has the capability. You can just install. You can basically plug in any SD you want. Like you don't even have to be proprietary, because that's what I do. Like I got I got two 1 terabyte SSDs like that I just plug in the USB ports. Like they're not Xbox. Well, one is, but the other one isn't.
But they did a good job of trying to market like how it's better to get theirs, like that they licensed through Seagate, I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Game Alive said he has a 4 terabyte drive on his Xbox.
Yeah.
Hey, keep talking shit, Game Alive. I'm giving you up to the feds, man. taking a picture.
All right, yo, let's get to one more, and then we'll get out of here, man. Like, what's the difference between consoles and PC gaming? I think we had this question already, Wave.
We literally just answered that, though.
Yeah, we pretty much just did. So
we did. Again, it's not rigged, guys. It's random.
It's rigged, man. It's rigged.
Yeah, watch it in a real time spin. Like
you just spitting it for the effects.
Have y'all ever played a video game that you found too simple? Actually, yes. So even though I've talked about this game and I did like it, the reason why I didn't buy the sequel to it was because it was just too straightforward, too simple. And that was actually the Incredibles game back in 2005 on GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation. A big fan of the franchise, like the movies, The Incredibles, which made me get the games. And when I first played that first game, even though it was based off the first movie, I was into the game because of the movie. But like it was too straightforward, too simple, that's why I never even played the second one. Because I was like, even though the second one dropped at a time where the second movie ended up getting postponed for 13 years. But I didn't even buy the second one because I was like, if it's going to be like that, I don't want to play it. I was looking for something more kind of how like X-Men Legends was, even Nicktoons Unite, that 4-player co-op type thing. And they just kind of made it just straightforward. And again, big fan of the franchise, but that's what I literally stopped playing the Incredible. I didn't even play the Lego ones because of the way they did that game.
For me,
Wave.
a game that was simple. I guess it's gonna be weird because I kind of enjoyed this game, but I want to say Marvel Ultimate Alliance, like the whole franchise. That game is pretty simple. You know what I mean? You just pressing. I mean, as far as the fighting goes, you really only pressing one button. You know what I'm saying? You just leveling up to run around, press that one button. The puzzles
That's like
ain't
Spider-Man too. Like
yeah, we being real. Like the puzzles ain't that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not really puzzles, really. And so it's just a button masher, and you just run around beating people up. It's still fun as hell. It's one of my favorite games to play, especially as couch co-op. But it's mad simple. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Yeah, I would say like there's definitely one and take this with a grain of salt because it's supposed to be simple, but the Bluey game that just came out is OD simple. Like it's basically because but I get it why, because it's for younger kids. Because like I played it with my daughter. Like she's just turned 5, so it's like, and it's I was a proud dad. That's the first game she got actually 100% set in that game too. Nice. So it's like I mean, like it's a good game. It's like it's fun like to play, like like watch it like kids play stuff like that. But I mean, but as a grown man that's been playing video games for over 30 years, like it's it's hard to stay engaged, you know. It's like we gotta find this. Where could it be? It's right there, like,
literally right there. Yeah.
Like, oh no, we gotta. How can we get up there? Climb on the stair and then just reach it. You know, like it's like for me, there's nothing like the puzzles aren't actually puzzling, but I mean to me because I'm almost 40 years old. You know,
way past that stage.
But to a 4 or 5-year-old or 6-year-old who's playing video games maybe it's for the first time, it's okay. I got to really sit down and think about this. You know, so I mean, like simple. It is super simple, but that doesn't mean that is bad though.
Yeah, it definitely is a good game. I think for me it was a little tough only because, and I do like the show. Like it's one of the kids shows that I think adults can pick up onto and watch. There's a lot of stuff kind of shoehorned in there. Like even the creators have said that it's intentionally done. I think for me, my daughter played through Super Mario Wonder, then she played through 64. And then, so watching her play the Bluey games at times, I'm like, I'm like, yo, she'll be like, where is it? I'm like, yo, it's right there. I'm like,
it's like, fam,
it's like you literally collected all 7 stars and 15 courses in Mario 64.
How are you doing this? Like, it's like it's basically like watch like an episode of Blue's Clues. It's like, hey, hey, I got a bottle of tea. Did anybody see the bottle of tea?
Right, like
there it is. Like, okay. I'm like, fam, like
it reminds you of that movie Big Daddy with Adam Sandler, and like he's watching the Kangaroo song. He's like, I can't take this shit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, are you kidding me, fam? Like, I mean, like I said, like the Bluey game is still
it's fun. Yeah, it is fun.
Play, you know, like it's cool that they basically just did like a whole new episode for it, like, and it plays like the TV show does.
Right.
So it's so I mean, it's super cool. I'm like, I know people who don't even have kids that watch the Bluey show.
Yeah, let's thank God Baby Shark is over with, and it's
yo,
thank you for Bluey.
Bluey can't go like Bluey can't came out and shut it down, man. Like Bluey is basically like the Call of Duty kick his shows. Like once they drop, like Medal of Honor, like Army of Two, like all like Battlefield, it's just gone, man.
Yeah, man. Or bet you I expect a convo on Bluey, but
this is what you come for.
Word. Yo, real quick before we get out of here, Game Live said anything Telltale. That's a good one. I fucking hate those damn games. Sorry for the adult language. That's a good one. I forgot about Telltale.
That's facts because like those Telltale games are basically just point and clicks stories. Like it's like if you want to just listen to the story, like you want to watch a TV show, but you don't feel like turning it on the TV. Like,
you gotta press buttons and shit. So way more work.
So, it's like
that's definitely a good one. John Irizarry said many learning games meant to teach people are too simple for my taste, as many of them can be brute force. Yeah. Like a lot of those games, like I said, I get it. There is a market that I might not be a part of, but just to say, like sometimes it is a little too easy. Go back and play this game on the Genesis, and Tokyo Swift is gonna laugh. It's called Barney Hide and Seek.
I knew you were gonna say. I knew because I almost said that.
Yeah, Barney Hide and Seek is a little more intricate than some of these games that we're talking about. To be fair, like I went back and played it because I was like, "Am I tripping?" You know what I mean? I went back and played it, and they even hit stuff better than the Bluey game. So I was but yeah, man. That's funny though. Like I knew he was gonna get it. Like, but man.
Because I almost said it. I almost said it, but then I'm like, nah. But the Bluey game is way more simple than that.
He said Jay is level 31 in that Barney game. Nah, man. I tried to show my kids Barney, and my older daughter, who's too wise for herself, was like, "You get mad at me for watching Bluey, but you were watching a purple talking dinosaur talk to kids."
Oh, yeah, see,
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, the logic ain't standing up.
No more Bluey hate from you, man.
Nah, got a point, man. Because she flamed me. She was like, I don't understand. She was like, is he on drugs? Like he jumps around and dances, and the kids just dip at 5 o'clock when their parents come and get them. Like.
When no adult supervision,
right?
Like the 90s was a wild time,
right?
It's a dog, a purple dinosaur.
All right, yo, that's all we got for this week's show. We'll be back next week.
Them kids was imagining that they was eating lead paint. They was imagining that shit.
Yo, appreciate y'all. Yo, appreciate y'all as always, man. Yo, Wave, take it away, man.
That must have been a fort while they was on the lead paint. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Like Jay said, this was a lot longer show than normal. We almost hit the 2-hour mark. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us and laughing and having a good time. Hopefully, I enjoyed the show, and we hope we see you next week. Peace.
We out. Peace.